She was your best friend. She knew everything about your life. She listened to you cry, gave you advice, and always said she wanted to see you happy. But the moment you lost weight, started dressing better, got compliments, met someone good, or simply began to like yourself more, something in her shifted. She started rolling her eyes, making little jokes about you, criticizing your boyfriend, downplaying your wins, and leaving you out of things you used to do together. And that's when the most painful question shows up. Was she really your friend, or did she only love the smaller version of you? Before we get into it, tell me in the comments, has anything like this ever happened to you? And also tell me where you're watching from. I always love seeing where you're all coming from and how these stories reach women in so many different places. If this topic already hit something deep in you, stay with me until the end, because today we're putting words to a kind of pain a lot of women live through, but almost no one knows how to explain clearly. There's a very specific kind of pain that almost never gets named properly. It's the pain of realizing that someone who seemed to root for you starts acting strangely the moment your life gets better. And I'm not talking about something vague like, our friendship just got cold. No. I'm talking about real, concrete signs. The friend who used to listen closely suddenly changes the subject when you share good news. The friend who used to say she wanted to see you happy starts making little jokes about your appearance. The one who used to invite you everywhere starts quietly leaving you out. The one who used to feel warm and supportive becomes cold, critical, sarcastic. And when you try to understand what's happening, she doesn't say it directly. She does something worse. She leaves you confused. Because this kind of friendship almost never says, I can't stand seeing you do better. No. It shows up in subtler ways, harder to prove. In a sideways look when someone compliments you. In a cutting comment disguised as a joke. In little remarks about your body, your job, your boyfriend, the way you talk. Tiny emotional cuts that, on their own, might seem small, but together create a really painful pattern. And the hardest part is that when a woman is living through this, her first thought usually isn't, my friend is jealous of me. Her first thought is more like, am I getting full of myself? Did I change too much? Am I becoming arrogant? Am I overreacting? And that's exactly where the wound starts going deeper. Today I want to talk about this as clearly as possible. Because sometimes the issue isn't that you changed for the worse. Sometimes what happened is that you stopped playing the role that made that friendship feel comfortable. Let's imagine Emily's story. For a long time, Emily and this friend were inseparable. One of those friendships that feels almost like sisterhood. Her friend knew all of Emily's fears, insecurities, failed relationships, and those moments when she felt unattractive, uninteresting, or out of place. She was the person who got the long voice notes, the midnight breakdowns, the spirals of doubt. And for a long time, the friendship seemed to work really well like that. This friend was always around when Emily was sad. Always available when Emily felt rejected, frustrated, or insecure. Emily felt seen by her, comforted by her, almost protected by her. And for years, she honestly believed this was one of the most loyal friendships she'd ever had. But things started changing when Emily started changing too. She lost weight, but that wasn't all. She started taking better care of herself, dressing in a way that flattered her body more, feeling more confident, speaking up more. People started complimenting her. She started getting more attention. Then, after a while, she met a kind, solid guy, someone who treated her well. And that brought out a kind of confidence in Emily that maybe she didn't even realize had been sitting inside her all along, waiting to come out. And that was exactly when her friends started acting different. At first, Emily thought maybe she was imagining it. But every time someone complimented her body, her friend rolled her eyes. If Emily shared something sweet or happy about her boyfriend, her friend would say something like, well, he's not all that, or I don't really think he's that attractive. If Emily bought a new outfit and felt good in it, her friend would throw in a little comment like, wow, you've been bold lately, huh? Always with that small smile that made it even worse, because if Emily reacted, she would instantly risk looking too sensitive. Then the other details started piling up. Invitations that used to come naturally started disappearing. Plans they always made together suddenly happened without Emily. And when they were around other people, Her friend would make these subtle little comments, sharp enough to sting, like, "Wow, she's so busy now," or "Ever since she lost weight, she's been different," or "She's kind of full of herself these days." Nothing direct enough to start a real confrontation, but enough to make Emily feel weird, guilty, and out of place. And the worst part? Emily still kept trying to defend her friend in her own mind. She told herself, maybe she's just having a bad day. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. Maybe I really have changed. Maybe I've been talking too much about myself without noticing. So instead of protecting herself, she started monitoring herself more, censoring herself more, shrinking her joy more. That's the twisted part of all this. A woman's life gets better. She starts blooming. And instead of living that growth freely, she starts wondering if maybe she should smile less, talk less, show less, dress down more, take up less space. All just to avoid making uncomfortable someone who is supposedly supposed to be happy for her. And this is exactly where so many women lose themselves. Because there's no clear, direct attack. It's the shift in energy, the tension in the air, a repeated pattern of small behaviors. And precisely because they're small, they distort your perception. You start thinking, am I imagining this? But you're not. Your body notices first. The discomfort notices first. Joy stops flowing the same way. Spontaneity disappears. And the friendship, without ever clearly naming what's wrong, slowly turns into a place of tension. Now, here comes the most important part. Why does this happen? When we look at this kind of friendship more closely, we start to realize that not every relationship is built on mature love and mutual support. Some relationships are built on an uneven emotional balance. What does that mean? It means that sometimes a friendship feels good, not because both people truly have space to shine, but because each person is playing a very specific role in the dynamic. Emily was the more insecure one, the more fragile one, the one who needed more reassurance. The one who talked about her pain, her disappointments, her failures. And the other friend, even without fully realizing it, may have felt comfortable in the role of the one who comforts, advises, watches, maybe even the one who feels just a little bit above. I'm not saying she sat there consciously planning this like some kind of villain. A lot of these dynamics are unconscious, but that doesn't make them any less real. As long as Emily stayed in the role of the friend who struggled more, doubted herself more, felt less pretty, less desirable, less secure, the friendship had a stable center. The other woman knew who she was inside that relationship. She knew how to position herself. She knew what role she played. But once Emily lost weight, started getting more attention, feeling more desirable, liking herself more, dressing better, choosing better, asserting herself more, she stopped occupying that old role. And that changed everything. Because suddenly the other friend had to deal with something deeply uncomfortable. Emily was no longer below her. She was no longer the friend who constantly needed to be held up. She was no longer acting as that convenient emotional mirror for the other woman's insecurities. Now, Emily stood out. Now, Emily glowed. Now, Emily could be compared. Now she could attract admiration, desire, attention, recognition. And not everyone can handle that shift. That's when a more hidden kind of relational aggression starts to show up. Not a direct attack. A more elegant kind of sabotage. More deniable. More socially acceptable. It comes through irony. Through jokes. Through distance. Through exclusion. Through little comments that look harmless on the surface but somehow always land in the exact spot that hurts. That's why so many women come out of friendships like this feeling like they're losing their minds. Because the other person almost never says, "I feel threatened by your growth." No. Instead, she makes a face when you get complimented. She minimizes your achievements with dry little remarks. She casually criticizes your boyfriend. She leaves you out of plans. She makes sideways comments about your clothes. She hints that you're getting full of yourself. And if you try to confront it, she flips it back on you. "Wow, you're taking everything personally. It was just a joke. You've changed so much." Do you see how big the trap is? You start doing better. The other person reacts badly. And instead of realizing that her reaction says something about her, You start believing that your growth itself has become the problem. And that's the cruelest part. Because deep down, the message that gets planted in the woman living this is, maybe I'm only lovable when I'm smaller. Maybe I'm only easy to be around when I don't make anyone uncomfortable. Maybe my light is too much. And those messages slowly eat away at your spontaneity, your confidence, your ease. Sometimes the friendship is not reacting to your weight loss itself. Not to your boyfriend, your house, your job, your trip, your new clothes. It's reacting to the fact that you left the emotional position that kept the relationship stable. And when a relationship depends on your shrinking in order to stay comfortable, that isn't harmony. That's dependence on inequality. Now, let's talk about the part that really messes women up, what happens inside you. Because the impact of a friendship like this isn't just sadness. It isn't just anger. It's confusion, self-doubt, guilt. It's that strange feeling of knowing you should be happy about your own life, but still feeling something inside you collapse. Emily didn't immediately think, my friend is jealous of me. No. What she thought was much crueler. Did I really change for the worse? Am I becoming arrogant? Did losing weight make me full of myself? Do I only talk about myself now? Is my boyfriend pulling me away from my friendships? Am I seeing bad intentions where there aren't any? And this is how so many women start betraying themselves from the inside. Because when the attack is indirect, it doesn't just hurt. It scrambles you. You don't know whether to protect yourself or apologize. You don't know whether to step back or try harder. You don't know whether to name what you're feeling or swallow it so you don't sound egotistical. And then the little internal sacrifices begin. You stop talking so openly about the good things happening in your life. You hide your accomplishments. You avoid mentioning that someone complimented you. You downplay your relationship. You stop wearing certain clothes around that person. You catch yourself trying to look more modest, more contained, smaller, quieter. All to avoid stirring up that strange energy that shows up whenever you take up too much space. Do you see how violent that is? The friendship that should have been a place where you expand becomes a place where you edit yourself. And even worse, the woman living through this often feels guilty just for noticing it. Because there's such a strong myth that women are supposed to be understanding, nurturing, mature, generous. So if you notice that a friend seems uncomfortable with your growth, you can actually feel ashamed for even thinking that. It feels ugly. It feels arrogant. It feels like you're making everything about yourself. So you doubt your own perception all over again. But the body keeps telling the truth. You start leaving time with her feeling drained. You notice that you feel tense before seeing her. You realize your happiest moments somehow lose their shine around her. You feel this strange need to explain yourself. And that doesn't happen for no reason. Because healthy bonds expand you. Unhealthy bonds compress you. A healthy friendship can feel discomfort sometimes. It can have insecurity. It can go through difficult seasons. We're human. But a healthy friendship does not punish you for growing. It does not make you pay for your light. It does not turn your joy, your progress, your confidence into a target for mockery, distance, or coldness. So if you're living through something like this, maybe the question isn't, did I change too much? Maybe the real question is, why did this relationship only feel safe when I was taking up less space? That question hurts, but it also frees you. Because once you understand this, something changes inside you. You begin to realize that you do not need to become insecure again in order to be loved. You do not need to pretend to be less attractive, less confident, less joyful, less accomplished, less expressive. You do not need to bend yourself just to preserve a bond that depended on your self-erasure. And here's something really important. Understanding the other person's pain does not obligate you to keep getting hurt. You can understand that maybe she's dealing with deep insecurity, comparison, emotional immaturity, and still recognize that this is not a safe place for you. A lot of women stay in unhealthy friendships for years because they feel bad, because they want to be fair, because they know the other person is suffering too. But fairness is not offering yourself up as a sacrifice to someone who keeps hurting you quietly. And empathy does not require self-abandonment. So I want to close this episode with one very clear sentence, because maybe it's exactly what you need to hear today. You do not need to become small again to fit inside any friendship. If someone started looking at you differently when you lost weight, if she jokes about your appearance, criticizes your boyfriend, grows cold around your accomplishments, leaves you out, turns your joy into something uncomfortable, and tries to make you feel ridiculous for noticing it, your light is not the problem. The problem is that maybe this relationship had been working through an inequality that is now exposed. And I know that's painful to admit. It hurts because maybe you love this person. It hurts because maybe there's history there. It hurts because maybe she was there for you in important moments. But history does not erase patterns. Affection does not cancel aggression. And closeness does not automatically turn an unhealthy bond into a healthy one. Sometimes what you call "she changed" is actually the first time you're seeing clearly who she has always been in the face of your expansion. And as painful as it is to lose someone who felt deeply important, there is an even greater loss: losing yourself just so you don't lose the friendship. You are not made to hide, shrink, censor yourself, or feel guilty for doing better. And if a relationship demands that from you, maybe it isn't loving you. Maybe it just misses the version of you that was easier to control. Now I really want to hear from you. Share your story in the comments. What's the first behavior that made you realize that friendship wasn't actually happy for you? Was it a joke? A look? A criticism? Distance? A cutting comment? Write it down, because your story might help another woman understand a pain she still hasn't been able to name. And if this episode spoke to you, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next ones.